With basic iPhone 18 introduction in spring 2027, 6 months after Pro versions, Apple will alter the iPhone release schedule. Supporting based on the information reporting from over the weekend, analyst Ming-Chi Kuo has detailed his forecasts for the next 3 years of iPhone releases in a post on Craft today. Most especially, Apple will depart from its autumn tight timetable, which has been in place since the iPhone 4S in 2011, delivering all of its flagship phones simultaneously. Apple is now planning to release its less expensive budget iPhones in the first part of the year and Pro versions in the autumn. This implies that throughout 2027, you will see iterations of the iPhone 18 and iPhone 19 show up in the beginning and later part of the same year. The iPhone release timetable will be final year of regularity in 2025. Kuo thinks the iPhone 17, iPhone 17 Pro, iPhone 17 Pro Max, and iPhone 17 Air would debut in the second half of 2025 as usual, presumably in September. The launch strategy in 2026 differs from the long-standing norm. In the first half of 2026, possibly in the spring months of March or April, Kuo thinks you will see Apple debut the iPhone 17e, about a year after the iPhone 16e introduction, which Apple revealed in February 2025. This would follow. Apple will then release the Premier Pro versions of the iPhone 18 series later in 2026. That includes the iPhone 18 Pro, iPhone 18 Pro Max, the iPhone 18 Air, and the first foldable iPhone. Notably, the basic model iPhone 18 will not be part of this group. Instead, Kuo thinks the lower model iPhone 18 will come with the iPhone 18e in spring 2027, some 6 months after the iPhone 18 Pro release date. This would represent the first time the basic model iPhone of a generation does not debut at the same time as the higher-end devices. Similarly, in late 2027, Apple will unveil the iPhone 19 Pro, iPhone 19 Pro Max, the second-generation foldable iPhone, and the iPhone 19 Air. This implies the basic model iPhone 19 and iPhone 19e would again follow months later in 2028. The information study mentioned product marketing and optimizing production as the key causes for the divergence timelines. Many of Apple's rivals in the smartphone sector have flagship releases in the spring. Kuo echoes similar motives. He argues Apple's key motivation to follow a biennial release schedule, with debut in the first half and second half, is to react to fierce competition, particularly in China. Apple will fight directly against rival launches in the first part of the year by scheduling big new iPhone releases alongside them. Increasing competition in the industry has also prompted Apple to need to manufacture more various types of iPhone than ever before, such as with the current iPhone 16 series and the impending foldables. Launching every single model in the same autumn timeframe risks diluting marketing efforts. By spacing them out, it should allow the basic models more time to breathe and grab customer attention without being overshadowed too much by the Pro versions. Apple is only a few months away from announcing its next iPhone range, but leaks regarding the iPhone 17 series have already begun emerging. With the iPhone 17 debut scheduled in September 2025 as per Apple's normal timetable, the future phones are believed to feature big upgrades in both design and hardware. If you are intending to purchase a new iPhone, waiting for the iPhone 17 might be a sensible move. Here's what we know thus far in 10 major aspects, which are based on leaks. iPhone 17 Air might become Apple's slimmest iPhone ever, with rumors predicting a thickness of only 5.5mm to 6.25mm. For context, that's even smaller than the iPhone 6, which measured 6.9mm. Despite the compact size, it is reported to boast a 6.6-inch screen. The Air variation is claimed to fall between the Pro and Pro Max in size, aiming to replace the retired Plus model. Apple may pitch it as a new ultra-thin option that provides premium functionality without the weight. Front cameras throughout the range may receive a huge bump as well, with Apple predicted to employ a 24-megapixel selfie sensor combined with a 6-element lens. This should result in clearer photos and higher video quality for FaceTime and social media. Powering the new range will presumably be Apple's next-gen A19 processor, constructed on 3nm technology. The Pro models are rumored to receive an even more powerful A19 Pro processor, intended at giving increased speed, efficiency, and multitasking capabilities. The iPhone 17 Air could employ Apple's own 5G modem processor instead of Qualcomm's. While M-Wave capability may not be included, speeds might potentially reach up to 4 GB. Apple might also add incompatibility for Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.3, allowing customers enjoy quicker wireless connection, reduced latency for games, and greater energy efficiency during file transfers or streaming. A tougher display coating is rumored to be in the pipeline, delivering higher resistance to scratches and glare. Apple might go beyond ceramic shield to develop a stronger anti-reflective material for greater visibility in sunshine. Finally, Apple may extend eSIM-only support to new markets, depending on the location. The ultra-thin iPhone 17 Air is rumored to abandon the traditional SIM tray completely, while Apple remains unclear whether India will be part of this transition. The widely rumored iPhone 17 Air is believed to be the thinnest iPhone ever, but will it drastically impair the device's battery life? Last week, The Information's Wayne Mayer reported the iPhone 17 Air would have worse battery life compared to prior iPhone models. In internal testing, Apple concluded that the proportion of consumers who would be able to use the iPhone 17 Air for a whole day on a single charge will be between 60% and 70%, according to his reporting. For other iPhone models, the research indicated that this measure falls between 80% and 90%. The article suggested the reduced battery life is due in part to the iPhone 17 Air's ultra-thin design. According to Apple supply chain researcher Ming-Chi Kuo, the gadget would measure only 5.5 millimeters at its narrowest point, but the back camera bar will be larger. To minimize this issue, the source indicated that Apple is planned to produce a battery cover as an extra accessory for the iPhone 17 Air. Apple last produced battery covers for the iPhone 11 family, followed by the since discontinued MagSafe battery pack for the iPhone 12 series and newer. The cover would apparently charge the iPhone 17 Air using the device's USB-C connection. Not everyone believes that the iPhone 17 Air will have inferior battery life, however. In March, Bloomberg's Mark Gurman stated the iPhone 17 Air's battery life would be on par with current iPhones. He claimed Apple made hardware and software modifications to make the iPad more power efficient, but he did not explain. There are 3 speculated improvements for the iPhone 17 Air that might assist battery life, including a higher density battery, Apple's power-efficient C1 modem, and the absence of an ultra-wide camera enabling more internal room for a bigger battery. All in all, there is still a lack of assurance concerning the iPhone 17 Air's battery life, with speculations presently contradictory. The gadget is not slated to be introduced until September, so maybe some fresh reports will help to create a fuller image. All iPhone 17 variants in Apple's next flagship, iPhone 17 series, will employ Samsung's high-performance M14 OLED display panel, according to the Weibo-based leaker Instant Digital. Samsung's M series of OLED panels are designed for premium smartphones, while 14 alludes to the amount of high-performance materials utilized to make them. The M14 panel was utilized in last year's Apple's iPhone 16 Pro models and boasts a 30% boost in brightness combined with enhanced endurance compared to the previous M13 screen due to improvements in the efficiency of the blue-emitting layer. Oddly, Samsung's current Galaxy S25 Ultra utilizes an enhanced version of the previous M13 screen. Thus, it appears like the ordinary iPhone 17 and iPhone 17 Air might well have an objectively superior display in at least some ways. Apple's adoption of the M14 screen for all models makes sense, as Apple aims to extend ProMotion to all iPhone 17 models to ramp up to a 120 Hz refresh rate for smoother navigation and video content as appropriate. Previously, only Pro versions in Apple's iPhone series have possessed the functionality. Notably, ProMotion would also enable the display on the iPhone 17 and iPhone 17 Air to ramp down to a more power-efficient refresh rate, as low as 1 Hz, enabling for an always-on display that can show the lock screen's clock, widgets, alerts, and wallpaper even while the device is locked. Last year's iPhone 16 Pro and iPhone 16 Pro Max had greater display sizes, moving from 6.12 and 6.69 inches to 6.27 and 6.86 inches, respectively. For 2025, Apple is also predicted to add the bigger 6.27-inch display size to its normal iPhone model, while the iPhone 17 Air, replacing the Plus model, is said to feature a 6.6-inch display, which means it will be larger than the iPhone 17 but smaller than the iPhone 17 Pro Max. We haven't yet heard whether the iPhone 17 line will cost the same as the iPhone 16 line. Most speculations claim the Plus model will be replaced by the new super slim known as the Air model, which will take over its pricing in the range as well. 1. The iPhone 17 will come with 6.27-inch LTPO display, a 19 with up to 8 gigs, and priced at $799. 2. The iPhone 17 Pro will come with 6.27-inch LTPO display, a 19 Pro with up to 12 gigs, and likely be priced at $1,099. 3. The iPhone 17 Pro Max will come with 6.86-inch LTPO display, a 19 Pro with up to 12 gigs, and likely be priced at $1,199. 4. iPhone 17 Air will come with 6.65-inch LTPO display, a 19 Pro with up to 8 gigs, and likely be priced at $899. This would represent a big upward movement in total iPhone pricing, with the Pro model leaping up $100 and a new model replacing the Plus with a price of $100 higher than the Pro Max. Now that Apple has announced the iPhone 16e, there may possibly be an iPhone 17 entering the lineup in September 2025. However, we don't know whether it will be upgraded in September 2025 or if that model won't come until spring 2026. The pricing is anticipated to be $599 for the iPhone 17e, unless Apple announces an iPhone 17e in lieu of the iPhone 15, with a price of $699, in which case the iPhone 16e might stay in the lineup with its $599 price tag. When it comes to wireless, a cellular modem is expected to still be provided by Qualcomm. Apple's own attempts to create a top-tier 5G modem look to be stuck and likely won't be available in time for next year's iPhone 17 range. Wi-Fi 7 support is expected too. So, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more tech news. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.